Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's AJ, and as you can tell, it's a change of scenery because I am out on this motivational Monday getting to the money. So, while I'm out and about, I decided to get my video done because, yeah, why not? I have a little bit of downtime, so let's get it done. Today's topic is going to be about open-mindedness. So a lot of us are not as open-minded as we think we are. We're a little biased. We're actually extremely biased. And I say that because we're so used to our friend circles and our family circles that we hang around that think like us. And now with the age of the internet, we have nothing but curated content. People are so quick to block someone of another opinion, or even these Facebooks like websites, even these websites like Facebook, they curate content to the stuff that you like and the stuff that they think that you would like the most. So you don't really get to see other people's opinions about different topics. And if you do, oftentimes it turns into some huge debate when people have attitude problems and they're blocking each other or calling each other names and all that stuff. It's ridiculous. I think it is so beneficial for you to have friends and at least associates and acquaintances that have different opinions from you. It is extremely important to be open-minded and have conversations with these people and not be so dead set in your ways, and have the conversation to where you're not trying to persuade them otherwise. You need to actively engage in these conversations and actually listen to what they have to say. And I know some people are thinking like, why should I do it? Like, seriously. One, you gain perspective. That's one of the greatest things. You gain perspective. Two, you get a more in-depth look at the world view. Us as humans, we have a lot in common, and you get to see the more shared human values that we all have in common. And a lot of that gets lost because of all these labels that we use on ourselves and each other. And you're like, I ain't got shit in common with this person. But actually, you guys have a lot in common, and you wouldn't discover that if you weren't open to having a conversation or open to listen and actively listening instead of listening to understand and persuade otherwise. So you gain perspective and a better worldview. You get, insight on different shared human values and whatnot. You get growth. So you grow, and that in itself makes it worth it. I would definitely say I've grown exponentially because I speak to people of different lifestyles and backgrounds and cultures and political views, religious views, etc., etc. And we engage in conversation, and I actively listen, and I ask questions based on what they tell me, and I learn so much more, and I grow because of that. So most definitely don't count people out because they're different in any capacity. And even something that a lot of people don't speak about is like disabled people. They have a lot of insight on just life and mindset and worldview, especially considering like it may be missing a limb or some limbs, or they can't operate in the capacity that a normal person would be able, or an average person would be able to operate. And to listen to their mindset and how they motivate themselves or how they go about things and get it done, and you're thinking like, damn, I haven't accomplished even half as much as that. Like, you have to get motivated. You have to, take on some of that mindset and some of that growth. And, you can become a better person by that. So, another thing that you gain is empathy. Empathy is something that we need a lot more in this world. Seriously. Like, we do not, to an extent, we somewhat sympathize, but not really. We don't even have sympathy for people most days. We're so numbed, and we're so overexposed to things like violence and gore and hate and anger and bullying and all this stuff. It just becomes another day for us. But seriously, we need to take time to become more in tune with ourselves, and then become more in tune with the world around us. And, you know, you really have to just put yourself in situations that other people are going through. And a lot of people are way too numb to this world where they barely feel anything. So gaining empathy is a strong suit, not a vulnerability. Put that out there. Also, if all the other reasons don't make sense for you, to the last point, you at least become a better debater. Because even if you're stuck in your mindset, if you listen to someone else's mind frame about a topic or a situation or the world, their worldview, you learn how to argue against what they're stating. So not only do you become a better debater, but you kind of understand the root cause of issues better than you would have when you don't talk to people. And so I'll use an example. This whole, the political thing, and I try to stay out of the topic of politics because I found myself getting too riled up and too getting over invested in some of these conversations, which went nowhere. And I spoke to a few Trump supporters and people who, or former Trump supporters, or however, at one point, I don't know their political views now or whatnot, but and I gained some understanding as to why they voted for him and why they had that hope, despite me not being for him. So not only did I gain value and insight, I found some of the root causes to some of the issues that I've observed in my perspective. And, I became a better debater when, trying to prove my side of things or whatnot, and my opinions and whatnot. So it just made sense. It made all the sense. And when you start to see other people's life experience, it touches you in a different kind of way, and you feel in a different kind of way. And this is another thing about the empathy thing too. Like, you can really feel other people's energy and pain and joy and sorrow. And like this weekend, yesterday we went to church, and it actually brought me to tears seeing some of these people. It was this one girl in particular, like, I felt the energy in this room, and she just lost it. She went up to the altar and she was praising, and she lost it. And I felt all of that energy, and I can empathize with her because I just felt like you are going through so much in life, and you just had to let go. You just had to let go. And it was a beautiful thing. And just feeling what she felt in that moment, to a lesser degree, yes, but it was transformative. And my whole day was made. It was already a great day, but my day was like solidified great after that, because it's like, man, seeing such a beautiful transformation, seeing such praise, and her just having almost like an out-of-body experience, it was just so amazing. It was such a beautiful sight to see. So yeah, it just brings that empathy, and you get to feel again. And you don't always have to feel the negative to empathize with people. You can feel the positive and empathize with people. But to be more open-minded makes you a better person in the long run. And that's why I advocate for traveling and stuff, even though I don't do it as much as I want to, but that's coming soon, trust me. But to get a better worldview and different cultures and whatnot, because here in America, or wherever little bubble you're in, like, even different parts of the country obviously are way different, but in your bubble where you're at, if you don't travel often, you become so stuck in that way. You become so narrow-minded, and you have tunnel vision, and you think this is the way of life, this is the best way of life, or life can't change, or whatever the case may be, when there's a whole world around you, and every environment is different, and people operate in different ways. Not everybody has access to fresh water. Not everybody has, coffee every day, or has that luxury of finding a coffee shop on every corner. It's just, or not everybody has convenience stores that they can go to and pick up a bottle, like, or whatever the case may be. You have to give yourself more of a world experience and a whole experience from different aspects of life. So you have to be open-minded in order to do so. So, you know, we all go through struggles and trials and tribulations and whatnot, and we all have been raised differently. And it's also pretty cool to see people's backgrounds and how they were raised differently and the same from you. Like, just at this event we went to, my cousin and I went to on Saturday, this girl was telling us how she, one of the scents, we were making fragrances, and one of the scents she smelled reminded her of, she called it pretty traumatic, but her family used to have pig roasts in the backyard up here, and used to have the whole pig with the, you know, the thing in their mouth, and roast them on the fire and all that stuff. And she's like, it's so disturbing, like, it was so traumatic, and I never want to see a pig roast again. But it was just like interesting to hear her perspective on it. I've only seen things like that in like literal movies, that's it. So I've never seen a real pig roast in person. You know, I'm not saying that I want to see it either, but I'm just saying it just brought a new perspective. It's just something I never considered or thought about, like in a real situation. But it was interesting to hear her story and to, you know, kind of place myself in that situation for, you know, a brief moment. So, you know, you get cool stories, you learn cool people, you meet new people, and, you know, so, also it'll help restore your faith in humankind. That's one thing that I will say. You know, in sharing stories and opinions and backgrounds, you start to really respect people for the human they are, like for humankind. And oh wow, are they trying to flag down? I'm sorry, I'm in a parking lot right now, so don't mind me. But you really start to respect people for humankind. Labels aside, race, religion, background, everything aside, and you really start seeing that person for their soul and who they are as a human or a conscious being. And it is beautiful and it is amazing. And, you know, plus you get networks out of it. Out of all else, you can get great networks out of it, and you never know what a person's background can do for you if you show genuine interest in that person, and if you can, you know, have a great conversation and uplift another person. That person could, you know, help you tenfold. So, you know, be more open-minded, and, you know, just have a conversation with someone, even if it's online. Just have a conversation with someone, and, you know, that you know is different from you, and ask them questions. Don't get riled up. Don't get all over invested in your feelings and your emotions and all that stuff. Take things for what they are. Just be, and just have the conversation and ask questions based on what they're telling you. Just listen, and, you know, you'll be sure to find out a lot about a person, especially angry people, angry, hateful people. These people hurt people, basically. And a lot of these angry people are hurt or unhappy about something, and just to find the root and the depths of those, like those situations that hurt, is really eye-opening and transformative. So, and then that'll gain patience. You'll gain patience out of that, most likely, like I did. Just understanding the background of hurt people and angry people and, you know, trolls and things of that nature, because then you start having more patience with people and start feeling bad for them, instead of just responding out of like, oh, he came at me sideways, was talking out the side of his neck, so I talked out the side of my neck. Like, don't start nothing, won't be nothing, that type of stuff. Like, when they say something to you, you become stronger, and you like, damn, that's sad. Like, what have you gone through to make you feel that way? Like, you know, you start really thinking about stuff like that. So I think I have my notes here, of course, like always. Got to remind myself, because I have a, you know, I'm working on my memory. I was gonna say a negative affirmation about my my memory, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. So I'm working on it, but you know, progress, slow progress is better than no progress. That's all I'm gonna say. And I've already said, listen to actually understand. And my biggest thing about this is being non-confrontational about it. And I'm going to get on this at some point, but on how to remove yourself from your emotions and your ego. You have to separate your ego from yourself, and you have to observe and talk egoless. And you will see a difference immediately in the conversations that you have and the interactions that you have with different people. It is truly profound. It's life-changing, and I wish more people knew how to do it. So that's gonna be coming soon. In the meantime, I hope you guys came up with at least 5 things that you're grateful for today. If not, now's the time to come up with it. And 5 positive affirmations about yourself. You know, amp yourself up. It's a beautiful week. It's a beautiful Monday here in Michigan. We're gonna be close to 70 degrees today. Right now it's 59, and you see I already took my jacket off. So, you know, I'm enjoying this little weather and whatnot. And I'm gonna take my baby out, and we're gonna enjoy some of this weather as well together. So yeah, enjoy the weather, enjoy this beautiful, magnificent, marvelous Monday, and see you guys tomorrow. Ciao.